Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We got some stuff to talk about. First of all, I want to say this. So, as we all know, I just want to bring this. I got to talk about this real quick because at this point, I don't think we should be paying zero attention to mainstream media. I just don't think we should be listening to these guys at all. I'm explaining. So, there was a situation that just happened at the New York City Mayor Mamdani residents, because all mayors in New York City, they have to move into Gracie Mansion. So in front of Gracie Mansion, they were having a rally, or I don't know, so protest. I don't know what was going on over there, but they was having a protest in front of Gracie Mansion. The liberals, for some reason, I have no idea why they was protesting in front of Gracie Mansion. He's a Muslim and he wants all of the things you guys want. So I don't understand what's going on. Not because he's a Muslim, but because he's a communist. He wants all of the things that you guys want. I don't know why y'all was, I don't know what that was about. Anyway, during this protest that was the left protesting, some other left guys came and threw homemade IEDs. The mainstream media blamed it on the right. At this point, I just think, and this is the real, pay attention. I think at this point, they know that they've been lying for so long that they don't have no choice but to keep these lies going. I believe they don't, I believe they don't believe that they have any choice. And what I mean by that is they need to be removed. The people who run CNN, everyone needs to get fired. New people are hired. The people that run ABC, all of them weirdo ass mainstream media places that's giving everybody these people need to be replaced, because you're not going to get rid of the whole entire company. The company's not going, the company's not going anywhere. So the people that's making the decisions need to be replaced, because at this point, when it's more important to try to demonize Trump and the people who support Trump than it is to actually tell people what happened, it's crazy. Now, just a real quick breakdown on this before we talk about the other political stuff that I wanted to discuss. So basically, it was two gentlemen. One of them, their parents came from Turkey, and the other one's parents came from Palestine or Pakistan, one of the two. So basically what happened is that these dudes just decided to do a thing. They were radicalized at one point or another, we're going to assume. And we're also going to assume they were screaming Allah Akbar. So I don't understand how anybody could have thought this. Do y'all notice every time the liberals go commit a crime, a horrible crime, they always try to say it was the Republicans. And no matter how much proof it isn't a Republican, that it's a liberal, they keep saying the lie. These people are sick. Their people are tricked, and they just are confused. And they can come back to real world at some point. At some point, they will make it back. But then there's the people who they're not tricked. What up, Henry Logan? Then there's the people who aren't tricked. They're lying. And then there's the people who are tricked, but not really. They're just stupid. That's it. They're just stupid. The majority of them are those guys. But there are people over there that they was like, what happened to the Democratic Party? Okay, we gonna move on. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Trump is freeing the world. By the end of this year, the Democratic Party is going to be looked at like the Nazi regime by the majority of the planet. Whether we see them as that in America or not, by the majority of the planet, Obama's going to be one of the biggest criminals, war criminals. The Clintons, all of these people are going to be seen. Like, I don't care how y'all try to prop them up, mainstream media. The rest of the world are going to see these people as, even if nothing happens with the Epstein files, the rest of the world are going to see these people as people that need to be unalived. They're going to see these people as people that, this the most horrible people. History is going to remember these people so terribly. And not because they did terrible things, but because the media lied. And the majority of the terrible things that they're going to be discussing, because remember, it's not always about the crime. It's to get away with the crime. So the majority of what's going to be discussed in the history books is all of the terrible things that these people did in order not to get caught up in their lies and all the other shit that they're doing. I need for y'all to understand this. Obama sent $1.6 billion to the Iranian regime, the terrorists, right before Trump went into office, so they had enough money to fight against Trump, so they can cause problems. This is not me just saying this. They're not even lying about, they're not even hiding, pardon me, the fact that they gave 1.6 million. They're not even hiding it. Like, this isn't even a hiding thing. They're just, no, we did it. Absolutely. And then, just so we could be clear, I'm about to move on to another point, but I don't want to miss this one, because this is about to pop up through the course of, before January 1st of this next 2027, you're going to start hearing a lot about the Russia hoax. Because Trump's first administration was plagued about a Russia hoax, and Trump wasn't able to do the stuff that he's doing now. He wouldn't have been able to do it. He didn't have the support of the people because of the lies, or the support from politics to get stuff passed. He just didn't have it. And part of that was because of the Russia hoax. So look for that to pop up. Another Obama thing. Let's move on. So I seen in Miami, they got free Cuba hats. In Miami, there's people running around with hats. Let's see. I'm trying to. Let's say free Cuba. So people know what's going on. And the people support what's going on. Did y'all hear about what happened in Cuba last night? There was a whole bunch of riots and raids. So for the people that don't know what's going on in Cuba, I'll break it down. Give me 2 seconds. So when Venezuela, okay, so Cuba has been having sanctions against them forever. I need to just talk about this real quick. It's called the Bay of Pigs. There was a situation that had happened down in Cuba, basically. And I believe this was during Kennedy's, was it during Kennedy's? I think Kennedy was the president. In any regard, that's neither here nor there. So what had happened is that we had a situation. Tell me one lie Trump said. Tell me one lie Trump said. Just one lie. Not something he said he was going to try to do and then the Democrats blocked him from doing it, because that's not a lie. Tell me one lie that Trump said. Just one. Anyway, so during the Bay of Pigs, basically, there was a lot going on in Cuba, right? And I believe the Bay of Pigs was the situation in which we had to go and rush Cuba because of Russian interference. Now, besides that, there's been a ton of issues going on with Cuba and Russia specifically. And before anybody, so you can understand what the problem is, Cuba is not that far away from the mainland of America. It's not that far away from Florida. You have people jumping in rafts and trying to escape Cuba to get to Florida. It's not that far away, just so we can be clear. So when Russia or China, who currently they say have bases, including I think Iran also on, they have stations on Cuba, that's giving them the ability to like steal information out of our airwaves, monitor us, a whole bunch of things. We don't want our enemies in Cuba, just so we can be clear. So Cuba has had sanctions against them forever for random different reasons. And the reason why their country still exists is because places like Iran, places like Venezuela, places like Russia, and places like China, the way it is, Venezuela was gifting oil to Cuba, and Cuba was then selling some of that oil to China and to Russia, and also, just so we could be clear, oil also was being gifted from Mexico. So that's how Cuba was running. What Trump did was Trump came in and he went into Venezuela, took Maduro. So now that oil that was being gifted to Cuba from Maduro, it's not getting there. So that means that one, they can't sell the oil to bring in proceeds, and two, they don't have oil to run Cuba. I need for y'all to understand something. I'm gonna bring up a map real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me one second. So I need for y'all to understand something. What I put up? Gulf of Americans, Gulf of America. All right, let's see the map. Let's get a good map so I could get really explain. All right, this map looks this map looks reasonable. Gulf of America, and I want to get Venezuela in there too, right? What the fuck? I forgot how to spell Venezuela. Ah, that's close enough. That's gonna get it for me. Anyway. So oh, this is perfect. Let's see if we could grow the map for us real quick so I can put it up on the screen. Ah, that has terrible resolution. Y'all see the resolution on that? Ah, that's terrible. All right, we got to get a different one. All right, this one should be good. Hold on. One more try. The resolution on that one was absolutely trash. Like, what in the hell? Okay, you know what? Screw these guys. All right, so I'll just explain it as best as I can with no things for me to be able to show you. So basically, Venezuela and that whole, Cuba and that whole area, which is now the Gulf of America. See, when Trump changed the Gulf of America, it did multiple different things. There's a lot of regulations that was already attached to it, sanctions and things as such, and different, how do you say, basically regulations and restrictions that was attached to the Gulf of Mexico. And by changing it now to the Gulf of America, it's the same thing like when you have a company and they get into trouble some way, and then the government be like, we're gonna find you, and then they just change the name of the company, and then now all of a sudden they don't have a problem. It's basically the same thing. So what Trump is trying to do is Trump is trying to get control over that whole region. I need for y'all to understand this. I'm going to say this again, and I don't think people get it. When he says make America great again, why do y'all think he's only talking about the United States of America? He's not. He's talking about North America. He's talking about South America. He's talking about Central America. He's talking about the Americas. Make America great again. He's talking about all of that. But guess what? The Democrats knew that during his first term. All right, so let's get to the Venezuela-Cuba thing real quick. So the money is not coming from Venezuela no more, going into Cuba. So now Cuba has a big issue over there. They're having rolling 20-hour blackouts. Like they only could keep they get the. Okay, so remember when y'all fools was talking about we need to make electric cars because of carbon emissions? Guess what? You can't make electricity basically without fuel. So, since Cuba doesn't have any freaking fuel being sent to them, they can't keep the electricity on. Now do you understand how stupid you climate control people have been? Now do you understand how they had y'all tricked? They had y'all tricked. Every single crusade the Democrats send y'all on is to trick you. And remember the guy that said, at least Trump lies to your face? And I said, tell me one Trump lie, and he ain't spoke again. I'm going to keep pointing that out every couple of minutes. So, what Trump is doing is freeing Americans. Cubans want to be next. So, what Trump did, just so we can be clear, and I'm going to move on to what's happening in somewhere else. I remember the name in 2 seconds. But what's happening in Cuba is Trump is doing the same thing that he's basically doing in Iran, but without the bombs. The Cuban regime cannot control the island without the fuel, without resources from the outside. From Russia and from China. And Russia and China can't send them nothing because America has a blockade going on. You want to ask? Wait, hold on. I want to get a stop. You want to know when America was great? I tell you when America was great. I could tell you multiple different instances in the world when America was great. Not perfect, but great. I'll tell you one right now. So, do you remember the 1960s going into the 1970s? That had one of the biggest, 1960s going into the 1970s for black people, we had one of the biggest booms in population. America was great for us. One of the biggest booms of population. You know, that's before Democrats convinced our women to have as many abortions as they can. So yeah, we was doing fine until Democrats showed up. You want me to tell you another time that America was great for us? Not perfect, but great. Y'all people are confusing perfect with great. Nothing is perfect except for Jesus. That's the only thing that's ever God, Jesus. Other than that, nothing's perfect. Holy Ghost. Other than that, nothing's perfect. So you looking for something to be perfect. Do you love God? Because I don't think you could love God if you're looking for a man to be perfect. If you're looking for a human being to be perfect. If you're looking for anything that human beings create to be perfect, I don't think you love God. I don't think y'all understand how words work or how the Bible works or how loving God works or how loving yourself works. But you cannot, and I want to be clear on this. You are unread. My response to, I don't even know what that means. That doesn't make any sense. So, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to keep moving on. But if you have anything, I'll address the things that you're saying. If I get to it, then I get back to what I'm talking about. But you cannot love God. I'm not attacking you. I hope you find the Lord. I hope whatever this is that's creating this line of thinking that you currently have, you adjust from. Not for me. You changing or staying who you are, it does nothing for me. But I will pray that you could find it in your heart to allow for the Lord to enter you. I will pray for that. That you can find it in your heart and in your soul to move away from the demonic Democratic Party that want to castrate children and want to take away all women's rights, because that's what they want to do. Why do you think they trying to put men in women's sports? They trying to put men in women's spaces so they could take away women's rights without women realizing their rights have been removed. And women aren't going to realize their rights have been removed. At least most of them aren't. Because they're so busy hating men and whatever the hell else is going on. And all you got to do is tell a woman what she want to hear half of the time and she'll do anything. Because she's attached to her emotions and not to logic and reason. And that's why every good man needs a woman who's going to follow him unconditionally. But y'all suckers that don't love God, y'all don't need a good woman. Y'all need one of them hard-headed chicks. That's who y'all need. Y'all don't need a woman that's going to help you bring your dreams into fruition. Y'all don't need the Lord to send you someone to help you in life because you don't love the Lord. Shout out to the Most High. Glory be to God. Jesus is King. In any regard. Cuba's blocked off. So the people in Cuba have been burning stuff down. They're revolting. They're fighting. Just like the people in Iran. None of these people are ever going to vote Democrat again. Like the Democratic Party is done. Like not done in America, done globally. They have destroyed the Democratic Party. Globally. Imagine being and I'm trying to think of a country that the Trump hasn't mentioned yet but would want help. But so imagine being one of these countries that Trump has not mentioned yet, nobody's talking about. But you have the same type of situations or similar problems like Iran, and Cuba, right? And y'all sitting somewhere praying your name come up. That Trump is going to send some troops. You praying. You like, how can we get Trump to pay attention to us? You're trying to figure it out. And you go on the news and you see all the Democrats talking about how they don't want Trump to come free up people. How they don't care that the women in your country is just getting savagely assaulted by these heathens because they hate Trump so much. They don't care. Nobody's voting Democrat, fam. All of you black people that refuse to get off the plantation, y'all gonna be there by yourselves. And you're not gonna be able to rebuild it. You're not gonna be able to rebuild it. I believe God wants the Democratic Party destroyed. That's what I believe. And I believe he wants it destroyed for the 100% main purpose, as everything it does goes against him. And it's about that time. What am I stuck on? You're just making broad statements. You're not committing to anything. You're just making broad statements. It's like you don't know what you're talking about. You just saying anything. I don't think you're that intelligent. This is not me insulting your intelligence. This is just me telling you. I don't think you're that intelligent. Give me one comment that you can stand on that isn't a broad statement. One, I don't think you're capable of doing that because I don't think you have the intellectual capacity to be able to then state why that point is relevant. So I'm just saying that to just say that so everybody can know you don't know what the hell you're talking about. He's about to say something stupid or he's about to insult me. Watch. Anyway. So I want to be clear about this. All of these They hate the Democratic Party, fam. Imagine how the Iranian people feel. Look, just another broad statement. Trump don't care about nothing but Trump, but he just sent he just freeing Iran. Trump doesn't care nothing about but anybody for Trump, but he's freeing Venezuela. Trump doesn't care about nothing but Trump, but he's already been talking about freeing Cuba. Then you're going to say, well, he's doing that for him and his friends. The Democratic Party is the party that got the stupid people. The rest of us are mostly normal. There's some smart people in the Democratic Party, and so they are pissed that there's people like you in their party with them. Believe me, I'm telling you. But the only people that believe y'all lies is literally the Democratic Party. Nobody's been freed. You're right. Anyway, I'm just gonna let them keep commenting. You see, they just say lies. They just say lies. You have the Iranian people celebrating in the streets of Iran, celebrating in the streets of America, celebrating in the streets of Canada. And you still got Democrats saying that Trump didn't free anybody. You understand how evil these people are? These people are, that guy right there, he's evil. These people are evil. I want people to stop thinking people just got opinions. These people don't got opinions. These people are evil. These people work for Satan. 100%. Even if they're like, oh, I'm just doing this for fun. 50% of the people who work for Satan is just doing it for fun. I mean, I don't know what percentage, but most of the people that work for Satan is just doing it for fun. These people are evil. They're evil. When I tell y'all about when people do some weirdo shit to me, and I'm trying to explain to y'all why I don't think this is a bad behavior and why I just think these are really terrible people. It has very little to do. Like, if you do something and it's because you're trying to come up and I accidentally get hurt by it, you know, you might not be a bad person. You was just doing what's in the best interest of you. But if you're an individual who's out there looking around trying to find a way to attack someone else for no reason, I don't care if it's for fun. You are evil. So says the Bible. Hold on. Because you say these things and I'd rather just show. What does the Bible say about people that make cruel jokes about others? Okay, so there's no voice thing here? Oh, yeah, no.
The Bible strongly condemns making cruel jokes, mocking, or ridiculing others, classifying such behavior as sinful, foolish, and characteristic of the wicked. It teaches that words are powerful tools that should be used to build others up, not to tear them down. Key biblical perspectives on cruel joking and mockery. 1. It is considered corrupt communication. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29 instructs, "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only..."
And this is why, this is for the people that know me personally. This is why when I hear people talking crazy, you don't hear me talk to them no more. I deal with you based on the spirit I feel you got. If I don't feel you got a good spirit, I don't deal with you. I'm not mad at you. I don't want no bad for you. I hope you find the Lord. But I will 100% not deal with somebody that's doing evil shit. Period. Yeah, you're right. They are burning American flags in Iran. The people that we're bombing, they're burning all the American flags they could get a hold of. You're right. The people that we are bombing is burning American flags. The people we are saving is waving American flags. But even though we all seen this on television, Democrats are going to come lie and try to mislead. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's see what the Bible says about people that mislead other people. What does the Bible say about people that mislead other people? I'm just curious.
The Bible strongly condemns people who mislead others, calling them false prophets, and ravening wolves who will face judgment. It warns that they use flattery to trick people, and believers are urged to avoid them because they serve their own desires.
I'm just showing y'all that when I be talking up here, I'm almost always talking in the context of the Bible. When y'all see me walking in the street, y'all just having a regular conversation with me, I'm probably talking in the context of the Bible. Whenever I'm talking from the context of the Bible. I'm talking with that energy. So you want to do some more things that God don't like? I would suffer you do not. But put it in the chat. And I want to tell you that these things that God don't like, so God holds you accountable. So I just want you to understand what I'm doing. I'm telling you what you're doing is wrong. So God holds you accountable. Yeah. And I'm not going to stop you because free will. I got a lot of people that was trolling me that's in bad places in life right now. That I'm in a much better place. And they I got a lot of people that was doing evil to me and doing exactly what you're doing right now. That's effed up in life right now. So I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to let you know even more than I did them. God is my great provider. Now, so what they're doing in Cuba, just so we could be clear, is now they're fighting the regime. So what Trump wants is this. Trump is like, in order for us to be able to do all of the things that we want to do, our military can't do it alone. You're going to have to do some of this walking on your own. So what Trump is doing, like what he's doing in Iran, is he's taking out their military facilities. He's taking out their military. Now that their military is hurt, spending all of their time fighting us, they don't got time to fight the citizens. Now that we've been eradicating most of the military don't got time to hurt the citizens. They just don't got time. We on them. Yeah, it is true that the school was bombed to Iran by the Iranian regime. Did nobody else seen the video? So basically, the idiots was trying to shoot a rocket like over there, and it malfunctioned. And when you see it going like this in the sky, I'm so sorry about what happened in the school, but you see it going like this in the sky, and then it came right back down and blew up a building. So yeah, the Iranian regime that Trump is trying to remove, they absolutely blew up a school by accident. Those guys are idiots. But I will say, they did not blow the school up on purpose. They did do it by accident, but they're idiots. So it is what it is. Any other thing you want to know about? You want to talk to me like I don't know what's going on? You want to talk to me like I don't spend a lot of time making sure that I'm informed? You can ask another question. Don't worry. You're going to get frustrated any minute and start talking against God and start doing things that God don't like. You're going to do it any minute. As soon as you do it, I'm going to call you on it so we can bring God into the conversation. So he could go visit you and your family at some point or time. I'm going to bring God right. Every single time anyone tries to bring the devil to me, I bring God to them. So, Cuba, Iran, and a lot of these other countries that y'all probably haven't even been paying attention to yet have been doing an uprising. Because right now, do y'all remember, I think it was like in January or February, Trump was like, I think January, February, was it this year or last year? I can't remember. But he was like, the time is now. He was talking to every country. He was like, yo, look, if y'all want to be freed from whatever dictatorship y'all got going on, the time is now. So every country that Trump see out there in the streets fighting, Trump's been pulling up to. You can't tell me he's a bad person. You got the Iranian women's soccer team that refused to sing their national anthem, and so they was being sent back to Iran by freaking Australia that decided they wasn't going to give them freaking, what do you call that, sanctuary, but they wasn't going to let them stay there, so they getting sent back to freaking Iran, where they are going to have the worst things happen to them and then most likely be unalived. And Trump said, nah, fam, if you don't want to keep them safe, we will. And the Democrats hate him. If the Democrats got two problems. One, most of them don't go to church, right? Most of them don't go to church. And the ones that do go to church, for whatever the reason is, they believe that church and government should be separate, which is absolutely insane, because what do you think the book of Corinthians is about? The book of Corinthians is literally Paul right into Corinth, the people of Corinth, explaining to them how to treat their people and stuff like that. And then there's other passages. Is it Isaiah? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But there's other books in the Bible that talks about governing the people. Is that Proverbs? There's a ton of governing the people in the Bible. So whenever I hear you people, if you don't go to church and you don't read the Bible and you say that, I get it. You don't know no better. But you cannot be an acting a Christian, you practicing Christian, and think that the Bible and the government should be separate and be a real practicing Christian. You just can't. I hear people say stuff like that. I be like, what's wrong with you? You can't. Sheesh. These people just don't, and it's getting harder and harder for me to not think this way. But I just think that Democrats don't like God. I think that that's basically, the party consists of the individuals who stuck being Democrats because they just been convinced that the most important thing in the world is racism, and Republicans are racist. Most important thing that ever existed is God, not racism. All right, that's y'all putting racism over God. I mean, I don't get it. I hope things change. I would love for more of my people to love the Lord and to follow the Lord. I would love for more people in general, right? Because my people is people who follow Christ. My people are not black people. My people are not men. My people aren't Americans. My people aren't whatever. My people are the people that follow Christ. Period. Full stop. So when we outside and you try to say you not black, nigga, I follow Christ. Yeah, you lying. I'm kicking you. You say one more lie, I'll kick you. But you say another lie, I'm gonna kick you. I seen the video. So you're lying. You understand? Like, the video exists of the thing that you're lying about. The actual video exists. Remember, these idiots videotape themselves doing everything. The actual video exists. You understand how evil these people are? You understand how evil they are? They're evil. These people are evil. People like this dude right here, I'm not trying to be funny, but I think that until we get to a place on the earth where we just start, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but we can't let this type of mindset keep infecting people. Like, we either got to put these people somewhere or we got to remove them. and you don't want to know what the Bible say to do. A lot of y'all would not. If we followed the Bible, most Democrats would have already been hung. Y'all wouldn't be here no more. The LGBTQ community wouldn't exist. Like, the teachers union probably wouldn't exist. Because y'all all are okay with turning little boys into little girls and little girls. It wouldn't exist. This is not me saying this. This is because I'm human and I make mistakes like anybody else. And I want everybody to come back to the Lord. And so this is not me saying this. I don't want any bad things to happen to anybody. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if we was to go by the Bible, like if and this is a fact. This isn't me. This is a fact. If we was to go by the Bible, most Democrats would be unalived. Like maybe like more than 50%. And I'm not even talking about anything that got to do with the Epstein files. I'm just talking about the stuff that they promoting and they're trying to push on other people. I'm not even talking about anything that got to do with their actual them. Like, what does the Bible say about people who convince other people to go against God?
The Bible views those who lead others away from God very seriously, warning of severe consequences. They are seen as corrupting influences and enemies of God, bearing greater responsibility for their actions, with the Old Testament even mentioning capital punishment for such actions.
I said all of that first before I played that because I needed for y'all to hear me say it. So y'all think I'm exaggerating. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, nah, Jack is just exaggerating. And then I played the Bible version. You would be unalive. Most Democrats wouldn't be here anymore. And before you say, but no, but that's not right. There is no authority over God. God is never wrong. Never. It's not possible for God to be wrong. It's not possible. Because anything he says is right. Period. Full stop. What do you think feminism is about? Feminism is an attack on God. Why do you think the Democratic Party lean into it so tight? He said he wants to see Trump do something constructive for America, like those. Hold on. How much money has Trump got America over tariffs?
Tariffs implemented during the Trump administration generated significant revenue. Customs duties reached about $264 billion in 2025 alone, up from $79 billion in 2024, while total collections exceeded...
Just so we could be clear, 286 billion up from 70 something billion. But this guy doesn't think that was constructive. So hold on, let's go on to the next thing. How many children have the Trump administration saved from human trafficking?
As of December 2025, during his second term, officials in the Trump administration, including border czar Tom Homan, stated that over 62,000 migrant children who were previously unaccounted for or lost after crossing the border under the Biden administration have been located and, in many cases, removed from potentially exploitative or trafficking situations.
But to a Democrat, that's not constructive. Increasing our revenue so we have more money for our country, that's not constructive. Saving children from being trafficked, is not constructive. You understand this? These people are sick. You understand? I could ask a ton of, and the reason why I'm just asking here, because what he wants for me is to just answer myself so he could lie and just try to say things is, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not really answering people in the comments no more that I don't think is giving genuine questions. I'm gonna let Siri answer y'all from now on, or whatever this is called, from now on, because me telling it my way, you're gonna try to argue back at me like I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's gonna turn a, however quick that was, into a 30-minute conversation. So we're not doing that. But this is how evil the Democrats are. We're making a ton more money through tariffs, which is going to help the people of America directly. That's not important. That's not constructive. We saved almost 70,000 children from being trafficked. Minus, that's not constructive. What? What? He said we should have a higher standard than saving children from sex trafficking. Look in the comments. He said we should have a higher standard than saving children from sex trafficking. Do you understand how crazy how evil the Democratic Party is? You know what? We should not save any children from that because that's too low of a standard for us. We're just going to let those children keep getting trafficked. That's the Democratic Party. And to them, they sound logical. You understand? These people are sick. They're sick. If we was living by the Bible, they would be this dude right here wouldn't be alive no more. Okay, so if we go by the Bible, why would Trump have been beheaded? Now watch him lie. I'm ready to bet anybody right now. I'm ready to bet anybody $10 he about to lie. And I'm about to use Google and prove it to be wrong. $20, $100, why not? He about to lie. Or say something that's not worth a beheading. But he about to lie. Watch. I literally know what he's about to say. He's about to lie. I'm going to keep talking while he's typing out his lie. In any regard. So, when we talk about Cuba, you got the Cuban Americans want Trump to go to Cuba and free Cuba. You got people that love Cuba. Love Cubans. But they not Cuban American. They not Cuban at all. But they love the people of Cuba. You got people who's married to people that's from Cuba. You think any of them are ever going to vote Democrat? Again? Any of them? This midterm, the Democrats are about to get so wrecked. They're about to get so wrecked. They're about to get wrecked. Why do you think they don't want to sign that bill? Because once they sign that bill and once they can't cheat, once it's 100%, all the avenues that they created to cheat is knocked out. And then you're gonna have to rewrite that, because I'm not saying, don't say I'm agreeing or disagreeing with no one. I'm not in agreement with anything but God. Are we clear? I'm only in agreement with God. I'm not gonna let you put a question up or a comment up that got a freaking that is saying shit that don't got nothing to do with what I'm doing. You state your question. All right? I see you trying to put the emotion in it. I don't know if you are a woman. Your name is Henry. But you might want to stop eating soy products so you could be a little bit less emotional. Because right now, this is not an emotional time. I know I have an elevated voice, but I'm not being emotional. I'm being analytical. If you're a man, you should be able to move into that space. If you can't move into an analytical space and you're a whole male, then that means your parents failed you. And I'm just keeping it a whole stack. Your parents failed you. If you're a man and you cannot think analytically, you can only think emotionally. And there are a lot of people like that out here in this world. And a lot of those people end up in jail. Just so we could be clear. Didn't Trump say America made, what does that has to do with anything? You said if we go by the Bible, Trump would have been beheaded. Tell me why Trump would have been beheaded. I'm removing every single comment until you tell me why Trump should have been beheaded. I'm going to make you stand on what you said. Now back to the Cuba thing. You think anybody that cares about Cuban people, anybody that cares about people from Venezuela, anybody that cares about people from Iran is ever going to vote Democrat again? You think they're ever going to vote liberal again? Forget America. You think they're going to vote liberal anywhere on the planet? I'm going to show you something real quick. What does God say about people on the left and people on the right? Wait, hold on. I'm going to tell you how real the Bible is. The Bible tells you about the people on the left and the Bible tells you about the people on the right. Two things that did not exist when the Bible was written, but it tells you about it. The Bible talks about the future so often that you idiots that don't believe in the Bible, I don't get it. Now the Bible talks about the left and the Bible talks about the right. What does the Bible say about the left and the right?
In the Bible, the terms right and left usually symbolize spiritual or moral alignment, not political stances. The right hand often represents strength and honor, as seen with Jesus.
Nope, wrong thing.
The left can suggest weakness.
Oh, no. They were about to go at the left and say weakness and all of this, but that's not the passage I want. I want the other passage. That passage is not talking about what I wanted to talk about, but it also helps my point. And just so we could be clear before somebody say it doesn't, I'll just let it go. Oh, well, it removed it. Wait, hold on. What does the Bible say? Not about the left hand and about the right, but what does the Bible say about people on the left?
The Bible uses left to symbolize judgment or folly, not political views.
Okay, keep going.
Matthew describes those on the left as being cursed for not helping the needy, while Ecclesiastes says a fool's heart inclines to the left, meaning a path of folly.
I'm going to replay that.
The Bible uses left to symbolize judgment or folly, not political views. Matthew describes those on the left as being cursed for not helping the needy, while Ecclesiastes says a fool's heart inclines to the left, meaning a path of folly.
You know why they couldn't have been talking about political views? Because politics didn't exist. Once more.
The Bible uses left to symbolize judgment or folly, not political views. Matthew describes those on the left as being cursed for not helping the needy, while Ecclesiastes says a fool's heart inclines to the left, meaning a path of folly.
Once again, if we went by the Bible, most Democrats would be unalived. The Bible literally calls the Democrat the fool, full of follies. Once again, I don't believe that you could be a practicing Christian, a real practicing Christian, and be a Democrat. You just can't. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, right? Not today. Not today. I told dude, tell me why Trump should be beheaded, and he's writing everything else other than why Trump should be beheaded. So I'm just removing every one of his comments, and I won't read another one of his comments until he explains to me why Trump should have been beheaded. And then I'm going to read one more of his comments just so you can understand that these people are sick. And they just they take one thing and try to turn it into something else. Now, every man in here that has ever played a sport, been in the locker room, you eat steak and potatoes? Cool. I promise you I eat better than you. I work at a pantry. I promise you I eat better than you. And freer. I promise you. I work at a pantry. I guarantee you my house has more food right now in it than your house. I put money on it. I put money on it. I'm going to tell you the type of stuff I put. Nah, I'm not even going to do that. But I put money on it. Money. I work at a pantry. See, my local church down the block, my local church down the block. What up, Shakim? What up, Shakim? Salute. I go to my local church every single opportunity I get, and I donate my time for the Lord. Every single opportunity I get. One of my best friends is a pastor. I hang out with him a couple of days out the week. Not in secret either. Everybody see us together. Whole neighborhood. I hang out with him a couple of days out the week. He's a pastor. No, I didn't ask Google to be the Bible. I told Google to tell me what was in the Bible. It can do that. I didn't ask Google to be the Bible. I told Alexa to tell me what was in the Bible. See how much they hate God? They hate God so much that they are upset that I can easily pull up the word of God to prove my point. That's how much they hate God. That guy hates God. Absolutely, 100%. Even if he's doing this as a joke, he hates God. That's the point I was trying to make earlier. This is not shit that you do if you love God. Period. This isn't even a thing you think of. So yeah, so I donate my time at the local church. I don't, like, a couple of days a week. You know, a minimum of 2 days a week. A minimum of 2 days a week. I donate my time at the local church. So. Hold on. I know I should have posted this. I should post this. You know what? I might post this. I got a lot of stuff. This is us building stuff to make it so that when it's snowing, it rains, we can still give out food to the people in the community. This is us working at my local church. This is the guy you hate so much. I'm spending all of my time giving my time away for free, which I love doing, and I'm not complaining. But this is us working in our local church, the parking lot, putting stuff together so we can make sure that we could give food to the neighborhood, to the community. So that's what I do. That's how I'm spending my time. I don't know what anybody else is doing, except for hating me for no reason and telling people I'm a terrible person and lying to people about my character. Other than that, I don't know what anybody is doing. No. Yeah, look, us putting up the stuff, working on stuff, doing stuff. I might post all of this too. Cause I got a lot of video of stuff that we be doing at the, I'm going to post it. I love these guys. These guys are just great. Look, I got a ton of videos, man. I'm just trying to make sure I don't swipe the wrong thing. Look, ton of videos, man. This is what we do. So while you hating on me, waiting for me to get online so you can spread lies and hate and try to convince everybody to hate me, I'm spending my time helping the local community and trying to benefit and be a benefit to people who have less than I do. So we're not the same. We don't serve the same God. I serve the actual God. You serve a fake one. Let's get back to Cuba. Or just in general. So no, Democrats are screwed. Y'all screwed. Did y'all see what they did at Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral? His son said, "Please don't bring no politics here." The first thing they did was bring politics. They couldn't wait to talk about how much they hated Trump. I would have never invited them. I'm just being honest with you. I just generally don't trust Democrats. I would have never invited them. What doesn't have anything to do with politics? And just so we could be clear, I said that the Bible talked about the left and the right. It specifically said that it wasn't politics. But in this day and age that we live in, there's people that we call the left, and then there's people that we call the right. That's who it was talking about. You people are evil. You're just pure evil. All y'all people is chaos. Everywhere y'all go, y'all try to create chaos. Like you want to create chaos in my comment section right now. All y'all want to do is create chaos. That's Satan's energy. That's all. Y'all have no other purpose in life except for to do Satan's will. You don't have no other purpose. What other purpose do you have? You don't have no purpose. You probably had a purpose at one point and then ignored it. And so now your purpose is Satan. It is what it is. Don't worry, black people are going to love you. For whatever the reason is, black people love people that hate God. I don't know why, but it's a thing. It really is a thing. And that's why it's so easy to convince our people to be Democrats. Because black people just gravitate to people that hate God. It just is what it is, man. I didn't say I didn't swallow food. I just said you're an evil person. It sounds to me like you're just bringing up things that mean nothing. All right? See, I just want to point this out. Do you understand what they do? He can't say that I don't have food in my house because that's what he was about to go to. I eat steak and potatoes. So sometimes my food comes like this. Just so we could be clear. This is just a couple of things, but other times my food comes like this. Now I live alone. Right? This isn't even half of my refrigerator or my cabinet. This isn't even, I don't know. This isn't even 15% of what the food is I have in my house right now. Not even 15%. I have more food in my house than you, fam. I promise you. It's not close. Now can I feel around and get this stuff back there? I'm just gonna put some of this stuff in the refrigerator. I don't got room in the refrigerator. Hold on, give me a second. That shit broke inside. Oh no, I couldn't have dropped that. Come on, give me 1 second. Is that it? I think this is it. Alright, fuck. It ain't even God. That stuff ain't gonna throw out before I finish. I got an hour. That stuff ain't gonna throw out no time. That stuff ain't gonna throw out no time. I'm fine. But so you can keep talking about food, fam. But I promise you, I got more food in my house than you do. I promise you. It's probably not even close. But keep talking about food. Let's go. Got anything else to say? My food comes like that in bulk. So what you want to shoot at? No, we're not talking about opinions. I'm talking about biblical facts. You're trying to replace your opinion with something that God said. And you don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You don't think there's nothing wrong with you exchanging your opinion for something that the Bible says. You understand how evil these people are? These people are evil. He was just trying to make fun of me 2 seconds ago like I didn't have food in my house. Two seconds ago. Hold on. And so I got like 30 or 40 of these type of things. They're like rice with beans already in them. They're like pre-made meals or something. Then I got like a ton of these things. Fam, what are you talking about? You don't want to talk about food no more? You don't want to talk about, because you was just trying to shoot at me a minute ago. For everybody that don't know, they make fun of me on this page because they think that I don't have no food in my house and I be starving. So they always coming into my chat trying to talk shit about me like I don't have no food in my house. Even when I walk around outside, I used to have people talk crazy. Now these same no disrespect, and this isn't to be a disrespectful thing, but pay attention. Because these same people got EBT. Same people. I used to have this crackhead lady around here that used to walk around just, man, people just so evil. And she used to try to make fun of me about the same thing. She have an EBT. She smoke crack. She on EBT. And she busy out here trying to tell people to hate on me because I work on the social media. And she don't think that this is a good job for me. And she think I should be doing other things. Dude is just saying so much blasphemous stuff in the comment section. Oh man, I can't wait for the Lord to get a hold of you. I can't wait. I hope the Lord gives you a perfect life while you're here on earth. I hope while you're on earth, you have nothing at all to ever worry about. I hope that God gives you every single thing that you could ever want while you're here. I hope there's never no reason for you to learn from your mistakes. I know I'm not supposed to pray for people to go to hell, but everybody ain't gonna make it. It's just the way that it's constructed. Everybody ain't gonna make it, man. Some people not gonna make it. I don't think you're gonna make it, so I pray that at least while you're here, before you have to go to hell, you live a good time. Pardon me. God didn't even want to let me get out the part where you live a good time on earth. Made me burp. Shout out to the Most High. Glory be to God. Jesus is King. People don't understand how God works. Y'all will see somebody that's blessed, incredibly blessed. And instead of trying to learn how to do the things so you could be inside of God's grace, y'all tear them down. and y'all hate on them. And the person be like ridiculously blessed, but y'all just tear them down and y'all hate on them. This dude is saying stuff and then redacting the message. Y'all will see somebody that is just like blessed. That it's so obvious that God is standing next to that individual doing stuff in their life. But y'all hate God so much that instead of saying we're saved, because I need for you to understand, if I'm in a terrible situation, like I'm living in a terrible place, terrible situation, and shit is all effed up, and then somebody that has God's hand on them come into the area where we're at, everybody receives blessings. Because God's there now. Everybody receives blessings. Because God's there. The people that don't receive blessings is the people that don't accept God. Everybody that accepts God receives blessings. And I'm not talking about the people that you worship a different God than I worship, and then I come around and you're like, yeah, da, 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 but you're still worshiping your God. No, you're not going to receive shit. But God sends people who are blessed places so people could be converted by seeing God do actions and through that person, and by seeing God's actions for that person. So when God sends somebody somewhere that is just blessed, and y'all just shitting on that person, doing as much evil to that person as possible, that's why I be looking at people sometimes and I be like you don't even want to go to heaven. Like, forget me. But I just like, people just be doing, like this guy right here, he's not even interested in God loving him. Like, he has no interest in it. The Democratic Party, they have no interest in God loving them. They have no interest. They have no interest. None. This guy has no interest at all into getting into heaven. At all. What does the Bible say about people who argue for no reason?
The Bible strongly advises against arguments that serve no purpose. It views them as destructive and divisive, linking them to pride and a lack of self-control. Instead, believers are encouraged to avoid conflict and focus on kindness and building others up.
When I be telling y'all these people hate God, I'm not just saying it. This dude just said that I'm delusional after the Bible just backed me up 4 times in everything that I was saying. He doesn't even understand that he's right now cursing, not cursing, but going against God's word. I just showed y'all at least, I think 3 to 4 times right now that the things that I'm saying are in the Bible and have relevance, but he just called me delusional. So he called God delusional because I'm only just reflecting the stuff from the Bible. So y'all know how I told y'all, whenever I'm in a conversation with somebody, especially people that I don't like specifically, I'm being honest with you, specifically people I don't like, I make sure I reference the Bible, because I know they're just going to disagree with me, just to make sure that they on the wrong side of God, or, you know, to make sure they're not on the wrong side of God, either which way you want to put it. I do that on purpose. If you ever come around me and you try to in any way make me uncomfortable, angry, upset, or anything, I'm going to create a situation to see if you're on the right side of God. I'm going to give you the opportunity to say, no, I love Christ. Or give you the opportunity to say, no, I hate Christ. I'm going to give you that opportunity, just like I did to him. He just called God wrong 4 times, not 3. Like Judas. 4. Not like Judas, like Peter. 4. But when I say something, this same person that just denounced God 4 times is going to tell you that they're right and I'm wrong. You get it? Same person that denounced God 4 times. They're gonna try to tell you how they're right and I'm wrong. After they just denounced God 4 times. The Democrats are evil people. They're just evil people. They're just evil. They're just evil people. Not every single Democrat, but enough of them. That the ones that aren't evil, how y'all still a part of that party? How? Like, what are you waiting for? You're going to stay there until God come, and when God come and he's like, you're still a Democrat, it's too late. And you're going to be like, bro, why? I do this and I do that and da-da-da. And God is going to say, yeah, but it's not what you... Did you accept Lord Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Did you do that? Yeah, I did. But you see, and this is the point that I try to point out. You see, when Jesus said, don't throw any more stones, right? He said, he, without sin, cast the first stone. And then he said, go and sin no more. That's to stop sinning. You people be like, yeah, no, I'm turning my life over to Christ. While the sin that you should be getting rid of, you love it. You don't love it to the point that you don't want to, you can't get rid of it. You love it to the point that you don't want to get rid of it. Not even that you're not trying. Like, you really believe that whatever that thing is you can keep doing as much as you want. And that's not accepting Jesus the way that it's meant to be. Like, we are going to struggle with things. There's going to be things that's going to be hard for us. It is what it is. But it has to be a real effort. There has to be real intent behind it. Real effort. Real effort. This dude just denounced God 4 times. And as soon as he say another comment, I'm going to try to get him to do it again. I'm going to get him to denounce God as many times as I can. He's going to have to either denounce God or he's going to have to support him. One or the other. But I'm going to keep making it so that you're doing one or the other. But since you're so hateful in your heart, you're going to denounce God every single time. When you could choose God, you're going to choose not God 100% of the time. Because you're a Democrat and y'all evil. No, you didn't challenge me with a difference of opinion. You said things that were lies. You said things that was lies. Hold on. Let's see what he said. He challenged me with a difference of an opinion. He said, hold on. Let's put it up on the screen. Why don't we put it up on the screen, right? And then get back to whatever we're doing. Right? So hold on. Let's put it up on the screen. Just so you can see he's just a liar. He's just a liar. These guys are just liars. You can't believe them. They just lie. He says, dude, the whole team, especially something, I don't know, whatever. Then he says, at least Trump lies to your face. Remember? I said, what lie did Trump say? See? No lies. I said, what lie did Trump say? I asked him. He said no lie. He didn't give us one time of Trump's lies. He said, when was America great again? I gave him examples of when America was great again. He says, dude, you are unread my response to your question. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Dude, you stuck. Wake up. You are blind to what's really going on. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Trump don't care about nothing but Trump. Then I exposed about how Trump got all of the tariff money that now helps the American people, and how Trump saved 63,000 children from sex trafficking. And then the guy didn't think that was important. He basically said, after I said we got the information about him saving all the children, he says nobody is being freed by Trump. And then he said they are burning American flags. I said, yeah. The people that's burning the American flags in Iran are the Iranian regime. So what is a difference of an opinion? You just said things that wasn't true and lied. You just lied. Look, then he brought up a U.S. Tomahawk missile hit us. There wasn't a U.S. Tomahawk missile. There's a whole video that proves that it was the Iranians that did that. You're just lying. This isn't a difference of an opinion. What the heck are you? You're just a liar. If we go by the Bible, Trump would have been beheaded. I said, how would Trump have been beheaded? No answers. If you agree with a man that says just grab him by the pussy, so you're trying to tell me when you've been in the locker room with your friends, you haven't said worse things than that? Men hanging out with other men have never said anything worse than that? Never in the history of the world existing has a man ever said just grab him by the pussy when hanging out with other men or anything worse. You see what I'm saying? These guys are ridiculous. Didn't Trump say America just said made $20 trillion? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Are you lost? Read everything. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. He's just saying lies and then calling his lies a difference of an opinion. Then he tried to say, I eat steak and potatoes. Why did he say that? Because he tried to act like I don't got no food in my house. So he was like, I eat steak and potatoes. So then I showed him I got food in my house. More than he has. So if he has a girlfriend or something like that living with him or kids, they probably looked at him like, damn, that nigga, he eating better than us, yo. Then he said Google's not the Bible. Yeah, I didn't ask Google to be the Bible. I just told Google that I just asked Google where the things were in the Bible that I was looking for. So yeah, I didn't say Google was the Bible. So you're lying again. It doesn't have to do anything with politics. No, the Bible, when he said right and left, and when God specifically said that the right was a good thing and being on the left was like fools, I didn't say that it had anything. The Bible said it was a political message. I basically just said that the Bible speaks about people on the left and speaks about people on the right, which it did. It says, I love God. It just kills me when you have a... None of these were opinions. All of them were lies. Hold on. Let's see what he says right here. And then I'm going to get back to what we're talking about. Because I just want to show y'all. These people, they can't be trusted. He's just lying. And then he's going to call his lies a difference of an opinion. You understand? These people can't be trusted. I didn't pass judgment on nothing. I didn't pass judgment on one thing. I showed you what the Bible said. That's not passing judgment. But while we're talking about passing judgment, let's go to Romans 2. Hold on. While we're speaking about all of this judgment passing, right? Let's go to Romans 2. What the heck? Hold on. What in the heck? Hold on. Why in the heck won't it let me do another? Okay. This is retarded. I'll just do it like this then. Hold on. Romans 2. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Because these people are always talking about people are passing judgment on them. They don't even know what passing judgment is. People just saying stuff that you don't like and holding you accountable. Holding you accountable is not passing judgment. You therefore have no excuse who have passed judgment on someone else. I want to show y'all something real quick, just so we can just see what kind of people this guy is. He's talking about dude passing judgment. He's talking about me passing judgment on him, right? So he called Trump all of these things that were not true. Right? That he has no basis of believing these things to be true. Where is Romans 2 at? There we go. So you therefore have no excuse who pass judgment on someone else, that guy. For whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, which I told him earlier. Because you who pass judgment do the same things. Basically what I've been saying about all of us. Now we have that God's judgment against those who do not such things based on truth. Wait. Now we know that God's judgment against those who do such things is based on truth. So basically, when God judges somebody, he's judging them fairly and truthfully. So when you, a mere human being, pass judgment on them and yet do the same things, do you think you will escape God's judgment? So basically, this is what I believe this to be. You could, I'm not trying to say that this is the way that you should interpret this, but this is the way that I interpret it. If I'm committing a similar sin, then you are committing. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a person who, I don't know. Let's say I don't know. Let's say I'm a person who drinks alcohol, right? Excessively. I don't even know the last time I had a drink. But let's say I'm a person who drinks alcohol excessively, right? I overindulge in alcohol, right? Before you confuse that with another sin, the sin that is gluttony. So now I overindulge in alcohol. I can't talk about a person who overeats. I can't pass a judgment on that person. I can't go up to a person that overeats or something like that and speak crazy to them or nothing like that. I can't, because we're committing the same sin. We're not doing the same act, but we're committing the same sin. All right, you understand? So that's the way I interpret that. So when you are a mere human being, pass judgment on them, yet do the same things, you're committing the same sin. Do you think you will escape God's judgment? No, you won't. Or do you show contempt for the richness of the kindness and forbearance and patience, not realizing that God's patience is intended to lead you to repentance? So that's what I just said a moment ago when I basically said that when you are you have to, when Jesus said go and sin no more, it's not just, you can't just come to Jesus and be like, I'm doing all of these things, please forgive me. Jesus say, I forgive you. And then you be like, be right back. And then you go out and do all the same things again just to come back, and because you already foreknow that Jesus is going to forgive you. So I'm just going to keep sinning. I never got to change my behavior. I never got to do anything else because Jesus is going to keep forgiving me. So that's what that's saying. Then it goes on to say, because of your stubbornness, definitely be talking about that, and your unrepentant heart, definitely talking about like how that dude is, you are storing up wrath against yourself on the days of on the day of God's wrath, when your righteous judgment will be revealed. So basically, when you're out here doing what this dude was doing, right? And I should have put the screen back up. But when you're out here doing what this dude was doing, right? He's out here passing all of this judgment on Trump. He's out here passing all of this judgment on me. And then saying I'm passing judgment on him, when I'm basically just saying the behavior that you're exhibiting is hate towards God. I'm not passing judgment on you. You're doing a thing. I'm observing you do a thing. And then I'm telling you what I'm observing. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Now, keep calling me lost. I want you to be on the wrong side of God. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like you. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta work on that, but I don't like you. And me knowing you're gonna go to hell makes this whole interaction a lot easier for me. Let's get back to our politics. Anyway, matter of fact, I wanted to get off live anyway. I need to go do stuff. With that being said, should I stay a little bit longer? Nah, I don't know. I'll stay for a minute longer and I'll get back on context, because talking to this guy, I'm just gonna kick him. I don't really want you on my chat no more. I'm gonna kick you. You're gonna have to go make another account. Alright, kick that guy. That's why I was showing the comments, because after you kick a person, nobody can see the comments. So people are going to think I was talking to myself, because that's how they try to do. They try to come in here and get kicked, and then they go back like on their page and be like, yo, look, Frost is talking to himself. There's nobody in his chat saying anything, but I kicked the person so you can't see the comment. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I put the comments up on the screen. With that being said, let's get to this. So let's get back on topic or whatever. Let's talk about some other stupid shit, which I'm liable to do. Let's get something to drink. I was gonna make lasagna today. I don't know if I should make lasagna or if I should just fry some chicken and make some rice with some like dirty rice with some vegetables. Not 100% sure. Honestly, I don't want to cook today, so I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. Democrats are gonna be the most hated people on the planet if they're not already. I don't think Democrats are gonna be seen in the future like the Nazis is being seen. That's what they're gonna be seen as. Because what I don't think people understand is a lot of what the Democrats are doing is a lot of what the Nazi regime did. So the Nazi regime and the Democratic Party has extreme similarities when it comes to their political stances on what should happen with the government towards the people. Very similar. What I mean by very similar, I mean damn near identical. Damn near identical. At this point, I think that people that are part of the Democratic Party need to be more. Yeah. The only way for y'all to save y'all party is to get rid of all of the people on top. The Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, the homegirls already going. I'm going to talk about her in a minute. Shanae or whatever her name is from Texas. You got to get rid of all of those clowns. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain to y'all what the Democratic Party did a couple of years ago. And when I mean by a couple of years, I mean like the last 7, 8, 9 years. So they decided, especially after Obama was elected as president, that they didn't have to trick y'all any further with white candidates. And that it was beneficial in order to have black candidates who could talk that job talk. And so that's how you end up with a and I'm going to tell you where it started. Give me 1 second. But that's how you end up with a, what's that girl name? Jasmine Crockett. Because I'm about to say a name. Right? I'm about to say a name. And when I say that name, you should look at these two individuals like they're damn near the same. You're going to be like, oh shit, they are similar. Tamika Mallory. Tamika Mallory way smarter than Jasmine Crockett, but Tamika Mallory. So this is what I think happened. I think the Democratic Party wanted their Tamika Mallory politician. And I think Jasmine Crockett was chosen. I'm not 100% sure why Tamika Mallory wasn't chosen to be a candidate to run somewhere. I'm assuming it just, she would have had to run in New York and there just wasn't a seat for her to run for. So therefore, they used homegirl down there in Texas. Because also, remember, they're trying to get more red states to turn blue. Right? More red areas to turn blue. That's the intent. So what I think happened is, after Tamika Mallory had she had a historic run of speeches that were actually incredible. I'm not sure. See, the thing is, I'm an actual reporter, so I know a lot of stuff about these guys behind the scenes. And I'm not going to blow y'all up, all right? I don't like my son, but I'm not going to blow y'all up. In any regard. So, the Democratic Party decided that they were going to go for people who can tell the lie better and make the lie look good more than they were going to go for people who actually knew how to do the job. You understand? Because it's one thing to train a person to do a job, right? Like, let's say we got to go find a politician, right? We want a politician. We want a politician to go do that thing. But the politician has to be what we perceive to be charismatic. There's going to be more politicians you're going to find that aren't charismatic, particularly the way that they want it in the Democratic Party. The conventional charisma of the politician is what you see in a lot of the Republicans nowadays and some of the Democrats, like a Fetterman. Like, that's the conventional charisma. Like, we're going to know what we're talking about, basically. Kind of sound smart while we're doing it, even if we're not that smart. You're gonna sound it. The Democrats decided that they were gonna go in a different direction. We want to sound as jive as possible. We don't want to speak up to people. We want to speak down to them. So while the Republicans say, we believe you to be capable, we think you could do anything in the world, all you got to do is put your mind to it, a little bit of elbow grease, and get it done. We have faith in you. We think you can read. We think that you're intelligent. We think that, you can function as a human being. The Democrats say, oh no, poor you. Oh, y'all doing so bad. Like, your kids don't even know what the word computer is. Oh man, they doing so bad. Any of us that have a problem reading, we're just like black people. You understand? That's what they're doing. That condescending bullshit. I got somebody that be talking condescending. That's why I don't go to church no more. I don't go to this church because I think God told me not to go no more. There's a church that I stopped going to, and I 100% in my heart feel like God didn't want me to go there no more, because every time I went, I would go in there and I'd have and then I always leave upset because there was one person in the church that always tried to make it their point to verbally try to attack me or embarrass me or try to make me look away or try to just make me look bad. Just, not everybody loved the church. Not everybody in the church is for the church. I'm just going to say that and I'm going to leave it alone. Not everybody's for the church, man. You know what I'm saying? You got people. That's why I don't give up on God. Like, I don't care if you go to a church and you don't feel like that's the church for you. The church and God is that church, whatever church it is, and God is two different things. All right? You keep your relationship with God. Maybe God don't want you in any church at the moment. Your journey with God is between you and him. It's not between you and nobody else. All right? So even though I don't feel like I'm welcome on Sunday, I still go to the building and I still do everything that I can for the Lord's house. Everything I can. Without question. Without asking for anything, and just getting it done as best as I can. In any regard. So when they decided with the black people, the Democratic Party, is that they needed to talk that jive talk. And that was the way that they were going to convince us, because they don't have any good policies. And this is the part that kills me. I never want to talk politics with people in public. And the reason is, in order for me, it's like, I'm not even debating strong right now. I'm not debating, just so we can be clear. I'm just talking. Debating Jack is not a Jack you're going to like if we're on the opposing part of the conversation. Because almost all of the points I'm going to bring up, it might not be the biggest points, but it's going to be the points that's going to be like, how did you miss this? Like, how can you be cool with this? And every point I bring up is going to put you in a position where you're going to have to choose God or choose Satan. So I don't generally really want to talk politics with people in public because most of the people that I see in public that I talk to, I like. So I don't even want to really know some of the stuff. But if it comes up, I'll discuss it, and I'm going to be true to who I am. But other than that, no, I don't even want to discuss it. Because I like you. And I'm going to talk in a manner that's going to put you in a room with God. And I'd rather do that when I'm putting you in a room with God and we speaking positively so we could bring blessings on each other. Rather than we're at an opposing viewpoint and I think you're a good person. You just got a different opinion. Or you believe some things that are lies. You might think some of the things that I believe are lies. But I promise you, if I said it, I can go find it. I can show you. I can show you. Unless I specifically say, like, I don't know, don't take my word for it. Unless I say something like that, I can go find the proof. Yeah, I could go find it. Unless I say something like that, I could go find the proof. This is not going to be too hard. In any regard. What time is it? 4:20. That was crazy. Dude tried to come in here and I work at a pantry, fam. Promise you. There's not a day that go past that I can't eat what I want when I want. I promise you. Not a day. Well, I'm gonna take that back. So there's this girl. Anyway. I'm just being funny. I'm being silly. I'm really not though. Anyway, I'm not out here just shooting at Democrats, by the way. I really just want some of our people to wake up. Like, honestly, I just want our people to wake up, man. I want our people to be with the Lord. I want our people to be welcomed into the Lord's bosom. I want our people to do the right thing. That's what I want. So when you hear me up here shooting at the Democrats, it's because I see the Democrats as our enemy. I see the Democrats as the enemy of the black people. While you see black people have to be on the side of the Democrats, I see the Democrats have used us for years. The Democratic Party is nothing but the women's suffrage movement. The women's suffrage movement, it turned into the Planned Parenthood movement, which infiltrated the Democratic Party, and that's what we have now. So before the women's suffrage movement and Planned Parenthood actually infiltrated the Democratic Party, they still was behind trying to prevent civil rights in America for black people. So they against civil rights, and then Planned Parenthood attached themselves to them and then convinced you that they were for black people. And convinced the black people of that day, I guess me also, the black people of that day, that they were for black people. Like, do you get it? Do you get how important Martin Luther King was, who was a Republican, to the Democratic Party? Because they used Martin Luther King to get a whole bunch of people to be Democrats when Martin Luther King was Republican. I don't get it how people don't get it. So that's what I mean by I don't really like debating with people, because half of the things that people believe, like, I'm usually generally sitting there like, I got a friend. I haven't really spent much time with them lately. I haven't hung out with them that much, but I have a friend who, for whatever the reason is, constantly feels like they need to tell me about how, smart stuff that they're doing. And that makes me feel away. because now every single time I interact with that person, I'm cognizantly thinking, let me not say something smart because I don't know why this person is doing this. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that intrusive thought I just had. Like, I don't know why the individual thinks I don't even think about the person's intelligence, lack of there, or much of there. Like, I don't even think about how, like, who sits around and thinks about how smart their friends are or aren't? Like, you not a friend if you're doing that. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, I don't know. This is not something I think about. I've been fortunate I've been fortunate. I've been very capable in my life. So I literally never think about how capable other people are or aren't. I don't even think like this. It's not even something I think about. Yeah, person. I don't know why they do that. This shit is crazy. Anyway, it's not crazy. It's just, you know, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying like different. Anyway, with that being said. Alright, let's stay on topic. So, how many hours we in? Alright, almost 2 hours. So, and another reason why I wanted to do some live streams today is because I might win a game tonight. I don't know. I might not. I don't know. What's today? I don't know what the day is. What's today? Monday. So, and I want to be clear about this. Because I know that there's lots of so there's people in America. I'm not talking about all people because a lot of the people that think this is Caucasian. So there's people in America that really believe in their heart of hearts that these people that are living in these other countries that are being oppressed don't want America to come help them. These people want America to come help. Think about the individuals. Think about the populations that we've seen like Cuba, Iran, Venezuela, that even before Trump got there, they were campaigning for Trump to come there. There's other countries doing that too. There's a lot of countries doing that. We just don't see them because our press won't show it to us. But there are a lot of countries like, yo, please Trump. Please Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those South American nations, countries, start becoming states of America. I wouldn't be surprised. Because if he gets Greenland, and if you gotta understand this, if he gets Greenland, that means that he has Canada completely circled. Like we as America. Greenland is considering it. It's in their best interest. Cuba is gonna consider it. It's in their best interest. Venezuela, it's in their best interest. Now they talking about going to Colombia. Donald Trump is gonna remove and then this is another thing that kills me about the Democrats. Why don't the Democrats want Donald Trump to fight cartels? Also, what do Democrats think our military is for? I'm curious. Like, what do Democrats think our military is for? Because remember, the Democrats don't want to fight any wars, but they do want to have all of the transsexuals getting gender swapped in the military. So what do they think the military is for? I'm going to say this again. The Democrats don't want to fight any real wars. They want to keep wars. They want to fight war. They want to fight to make sure that wars don't end, basically. And when you're like, that don't make sense. Say, bomb the hell out of Syria. Everybody remember that? When you could have just went into Iran? You bombed the hell out of Syria, but then you give Iran billions of dollars? Explain that shit to me. So no, the Democrats are not on anybody's side. The Democrats is on Satan's side. And I think that's part of God's plan. Not for nothing. I think that's part of God's plan. I think part of God's plan is to have stuff like the Democrats out there. Remember, he's not taking everybody. I know y'all want to get in your head that every single person on the earth is not what's going to happen. That's nowhere close to what's going to happen. There's going to be more people not in heaven than in heaven. I wish churches was more honest about this. I wish. But they're not. I mean, it is what it is. That's why I would never go try to get any type of anything to teach. Because once you do that, then you can't teach certain things ever. You have to agree that you'll never talk about certain things. And I'm not going to agree to that. You got to agree that fam. I'm just going to say that much and I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm not going to do that. At least that's the interpretation that I've gotten. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't want to. I'm not doing that. So no, I'm not. No way. In any regard, I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. I think I'm gonna snacks. I think I'm thirsty. I gotta drop something, and I gotta go put that stuff back in the freezer. I should have left that shit in there. I was just pissed. Come on, fam. Y'all could stop with the lies. Like my house don't got food in it. You could stop with the lies, fam. I work at a pantry, fam. I live alone and I work at the pantry. What would make you think that I don't have enough food for myself? People are crazy, yo. Anyway, with that being said, y'all, love y'all. Everybody go out in the world, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. I really like the fact that I got to talk about God a lot today. Is that why God made that thing? That might be why. I'm thinking about something that happened, and I'm like, is that why God made that happen? Because there's this girl that I like, apparently, and I think God don't want me to care if she's gonna go to church with me or not. Because I just gonna, and then I'm gonna close out. I just want to say some stuff. So this is girl I'm interested in. It's literally only one girl I'm interested in. Literally only one girl on earth I'm interested in. Just want to be clear on that. And I'm talking with God, and I was like, I'm concerned she might not want to come to church with me. And if she doesn't want to come to church with me, then that's going to make me think that I'm not supposed to be with her. Like, you know? And so that's why I think God created the situation where now I'm not necessarily going to church every Sunday. You know? More about the judgment thing. So I think this is more incentive that he's telling me that's not something to worry about. Like, even if she would or wouldn't, it's not something I should be worried about. came to church this one time. We had this thing. She had this black dress on with like this white little, I don't know what you call it, like those little short jackets that they wear up top. She had like this black dress on. It was probably the best I've ever seen a woman look in my life. Anyway, with that being said, everybody have a blessed day. I got stuff that I got to do. I guess I'm Let's go.